Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where everything you're about to hear and see has been done in one take. I'm your host, the One Take Man. For today's video, as the title has already given away, I'm going to give you a video game review. And the video game in question is Ambition, a Minuet in Power, a visual novel, or visual novel-esque video game that manages to blend the dating sim, historical RPG, and political thriller genres within itself. The basic plot of this game is that the player character, Yvette Decaux, travels to Paris in 1789 in order to spend some time with her fiancé, who has been called up to the meeting of the Estates General. When she reaches her destination, she finds out that he has been missing, and she has to mingle through the vivacious yet volatile social and political scene of Paris in order to figure out what it is that happened to him. And on her way, she also has the opportunity to enter romances with various other characters, because France, everyone's polyamorous and moody. And these characters all represent one of the various political factions within the game that are vying for political control and power. The TLDW for this review is this game is absolutely impressive. Like the dialogue is well written, the designs all look great, the gameplay is surprisingly deep and immersive, and the soundtrack is just gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. I recommend everyone go for at least one playthrough of this game. That is everyone who is of age, because there are some spicy elements to this game. I already have 3 playthroughs of this game under my belt, even though it is outside of my typical wheelhouse when it comes to games, and I definitely intend to go through it at least one more time. Anyway, now that I've said that, if you want to know more about the game or more about my impressions of the game, well, that is what I'll talk about in the rest of this video. The moment-by-moment gameplay consists mostly, not exclusively, but mostly, of attending various in-game events or parties. Each party is split over several turns, typically between 2 and 4. However, 2 seems to be the number I've encountered most within the game. And and within each of these turns, you as the player have to get your player character to interact with several characters, within several situations that are presented to you in a given turn. Some of these interactions only show up once per party, or even once per playthrough, so you will have to make your choice wisely. Thankfully, to facilitate your choice, each potential interaction has a brief description attached to it, as well as a listing of both the potential rewards and the possible penalties. There is more to the rewards, and there are more situations in which you can get rewards and penalties even outside of parties. So you as the player character really have to be careful how you manage those as well. Because when I say that this game is surprisingly deep, I actually, I mean it. Because you have to manage your player character's time, appearance, as well as words and actions in order to create or arrive at the outcome that you are gunning for within that playthrough, both in terms of the political storyline as well as the romantic one. So yeah, you really can't just diddle dally. You have to immerse yourself in it. Thankfully, the game gives you plenty of items to be immersed within. I've already mentioned that and as I've mentioned in the synopsis, the designs of this game are quite well done. So, and in general, the visual design and the visual styling of this game is done in a very intriguing way. Like there are like various backdrops present throughout the game are are stellar and do manage to convey the general impression of the setting. The outfits everyone wears are look gorgeous as well, and they do in fact fit the occasion as far as I'm at least as far as I'm able to tell. And also the various individual named characters with whom you will interact have their own distinctive look and their distinctive personalities, and the interactions between them are very interesting and very full of character as well. Speaking of the dialogue within this game, the actual driver of gameplay and of every possible interaction here is end of characterization is done quite good as well. It's very crisp and very varied, ranging from juicy and bombastic to simple and to the point, depending on who it is that Yvette Decaux is actually interacting with at any given time. And it does convey a lot of information about who it is, not just about who these people are, but also about the greater scope of what is going on and what it is that people are interested in for the most part. But while these things are well done and are interesting to behold, what really helps sell this game and what really helps elevate it beyond, I'll say, other games within this within its genre is the soundtrack. Excluding the typical incidentals you would expect for stuff like menus, the various parties depending on which of these factions is actually organizing them all of them have their own distinctive suites of songs that make them that much more memorable and that much more immersive for the player character to participate in. Aside from that, the various romantic interests also have their own signature tracks, which make them more distinctive and which help emphasize their characterization. It is very interesting to behold, and it makes a world of difference when you're actually playing through it. So yeah, in much fewer words, this game does a lot of things right. Does it do everything right? Unfortunately, the answer is no. I'm not gonna talk about the technical issues, which I have to say I have encountered, but you might not. I do have to say that there are some ways in which this story, interesting enough as it is presented, is somewhat mismanaged. For one, the chief among these mismanagements, I'll say, is the fact that that going on any romantic subplot requires the player character to go on very repetitive dates with whatever romantic interest they are interested in. When you consider what a typical romantic storyline already entails within this game, like those dates really do not add anything. They're just a further complication that doesn't allow you to really explore the setting and immerse yourself within the rest of the world and within the rest of the story. Speaking of the rest of the world and the story, due to the pseudo-random way in which various events are spawned, in which various interactions are spawned at various parties, there are some side plots that the player is permanently locked out of, which I have to say really hurts the immersion and really doesn't doesn't really allow them to really explore all of the possibilities that this game offers. So if I would have been in charge of the game, that is the chief thing I would have I would have tried to do better. Overall, while I can find some faults with how this game has been presented, I think the actual experience it provides is varied, lively, and immersive, and manages to present a very intriguing and novel story within a very engaging and well fleshed out ambiance. My final rating for Ambition, a Minuet in Power is 4 out of 5. And that was my review. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it, well then please leave a like, maybe even share this video wherever you think other people will like it as well. If there is anything you would like to add, either to the review or to the game itself, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next game gets, next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. I also have a main channel where I talk about book-related and literature topics, a link to which you will find in the description down below, right past all of my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. You'll also find my Patreon listed down there in case you want to support me more directly and maybe even receive perks such as early access to videos and scripts, both for this channel and for my main one. Until next time, I have been the One Take Man.